Preston, what inspired you to host this event, Future Contracts Miami?
So Electra, two things. I went to the University of Miami School of Law. I used to work there as an in-house attorney. And so I've long wanted to go back and host an event at the university, at the Donna Shalala Center in particular. It's a beautiful venue, but also so much of my work now is focused on the future of contracts and how contracts are evolving. And so to do an event on a topic that I care deeply about, at a venue that I care deeply about was the reason.
Amazing. And you're doing it.
And we're doing it. Thanks to you. I can take like 1/10 of the credit on this.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but why do you think that now is such a critical time for the industry to come together and discuss these topics?
Yeah, so I think that at a moment where there's lots of siloed innovation happening, like we see OpenAI pushing, we know the world is changing, but we know that large law firms, medium-sized law firms are pushing the envelope. They're testing things in a way that they did not 2 years ago, 5 years ago. We know that in-house attorneys are being pushed by their CEOs and their CFOs to find efficiencies and new ways to do work. And I think bringing together those practitioners to share their stories, because it's not all success, it's not all wins. It's we tried this and it worked a little bit, or we tried this and it failed. I think that the timing is right because we're at the beginning of this adoption curve in legal, and hearing the early stories, both the success stories and the failures, is a way for both those that are already in it to get better, but maybe most of all for the attorneys that are anxious or sort of nervous about where to start, that they're getting real life scenarios from practitioners who are doing the work.
Yeah, that's such a great reason to go to conferences like this, because it's so easy to just get stuck in your own silo and in your own little world, and just getting the input that you can have from other people who have done it differently is invaluable.
And there's risk, right? We see the risks in the news stories and the lawsuits, and so there's this concern that technology is going to pass you by and you've missed the moment, and then there's an equal concern that you're going to place the wrong bet, or you're going to try a tool that will create exposure for your law firm or for your business. And so it is both urgent, but with precaution that we're entering into this. And so having these conversations, I think with practitioners is the right approach.
Yeah, totally. What do you think makes Future Contracts Miami different from other events in this space?
Focus makes us different. I think there's wonderful events all across the country, and I think AI is a theme across legal tech right now. But I think contracts in particular, it's worth it. It's worth going deep, because so much of it is about not only how documents are created, how they're negotiated, how we're doing things that scale in a way that was impossible before, and how we automate processes and operations. And I think it's worthy of its own conference. Candidly, it's easy for me to say this because this is where I spend all my time, and it's where you spend all your time. But even, what are we in 3 months into the promotion cycle? And I look at the lineup of speakers, Electra, and it's incredible. And I look up the lineup of attendees and the sponsors that, let's not forget the tech vendors that are coming in to showcase their innovations. I think contracts and the future of contracts is worthy of its own event. And so I think the timing is right, and I think the focus is what makes this different.
Agreed. Contracts are the lifeblood of any organization, and loads of teams spend the majority of their time on those contracts. So it may sound like it's a trivial thing to some extent because it comes to you so naturally, but it's important to understand that this is the thing that takes up most of your time, that could actually be stopping you from being able to do other stuff that you really want to do. So going deep is a great reason to get there.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about for this event?
I think one of the most exciting things to showcase will be what the University of Miami School of Law is doing, what Professor Marcia Weldon is doing. I know that most lawyers aren't coming to this event to see what law students are learning, but I think they're going to be fascinated to see how progressive institutions like are embedding AI into the curriculum now, so that these future lawyers will be ready to adopt the tools that the law firms expect and the in-house their GCs expect, and maybe too they will see, the practitioners themselves will see opportunities to bring these types of educational tools into their own firms or into their own teams, so that the lawyer that graduated from law school 3 years ago that sort of missed this AI curve can now catch up to it. So that's one of the things I'm most excited about. I think the speaker lineup is incredible. So for me, just being able to sit in the audience and listen to hear what Google is doing or what PayPal is doing or whatever it may be, I think is a really special opportunity.
Amazing. Yeah, it's going to be great. Without giving too much away, can you hint at some of the key themes or sessions we'll see?
Yeah, for sure. So I showcased one already with the university, but let me go an inch deeper on that. So we're going to have students on stage that are part of the transactional skills program at the University of Miami, alongside Professor Marcia Weldon and a couple of other of the adjuncts. And they're going to be going through the new curriculum that they're adopting and how they're actually using software tools and OpenAI and other tools to test how AI might be a part of the practice of law, and specifically drafting and negotiating contracts. So very excited to see that part. I think that we have some really interesting presentations, both from Big Law and from in-house, that revolve around failed implementations and risks that they have seen and concerns that have been expressed. So I think one of the important topics is to look at where things can go wrong. I think we owe that to the audience, and as the agenda is unfolding and I've seen the outlines, again, a lot of this is your work, Electra. Seeing these real life scenarios play out, I think, is important. And we're not trying to scare anyone. We're trying to say, this is the worst case. And then we're going to give advice on how to avoid it. And so anyway, those are a couple of the themes. That's as deep as I'll go now in terms of foreshadowing what's coming.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm really excited about the sessions from the in-house lawyers, where they'll be talking about how real life experiences around trying to scale their legal teams and scale their contract functions, and what's worked, what hasn't worked, what's required from a people aspect, all those soft skills that we don't really talk about when we're talking about legal tech. So I think it's a very holistic approach to what it is that we're trying to do and the messages that we're trying to convey through this conference. And it has been a lot of fun trying to put the event together. So thank you for that opportunity.
No, thank you.
Okay, Preston, any final thoughts that you'd like to share?
We have a great lineup. We're expecting over 300 people, but there's still room. So we want you there. If you're a part of my network and you're in the South Florida legal community, drive on down. We want you there. If you're part of the global legal operations or contract tech community, we want you there. If you are a vendor, a contract tech vendor that is doing something special and innovative, we want you there. And of course, if you're a practitioner within your own firm or in-house and you are pushing the envelope using your own tech or whatever it may be, we want to hear from you. So my closing comments are: go to futurecontractsmiami.com, sign up, send Electra an email, send me an email. We want you there. We want you to share your stories. We want you to be a part of this community with us. So that's it.
Awesome. Thanks, Preston. We're looking forward to seeing everyone at Future Contracts Miami on the 10th and 11th of February. See you there.